The biggest question we get asked is how long restoration typically takes. And that's actually probably the hardest question, because every 911 is different and the degree of work required in each car is very different. It's all about how it's assessed at the start and what is involved in taking that car forward. Some projects are so in detail on getting all the nuances 100% perfect and trying to date matched components that inevitably takes the project longer. Restoration process that we go through here at AutoFarm is the initial inspection and assessment. That's probably the most important thing, where we work out how original the car is, we work out what is needed for the restoration, and then we'll then communicate that with the customer and we go through the first phase, which is the strip down. And these are probably the most valuable parts of the process. So that strip down phase is where you will get your full parts list for every tiny little nut, bolt, clip, screw, all the little special widgets that you kind of need to obtain from all over the world. You've got that one list. We send the car away for media blasting, and that removes all of the paint, sealer and rust and corrosion that's all inside the body shell. They're very careful. They'll only blast certain areas so they don't distort any of the metalwork and panels. That gives us a really good base to work from. There's no hidden gremlins. Equally, we can see exactly in the body shell where the car may have had previous accident damage and where the car is original. So this particular car is going through its dry build phase at the moment, and I quite like this stage because you can really see what is original in the naked steel, what's been replaced, which is the black e-coated parts from Porsche, and then the original painted parts, which is the original parts from the car. Up the top there's a bare metal area, so we've taken the original wing, but we've had to work that area. In that part there's an area where we also have lead loaded to get correct fitment for the wing to gap up with the seal. So this is now going through the gapping phase and also the installation of sealed components and parts to check for correct fit, as though the car has been fully assembled. We will get a panel from Porsche, and sometimes the parts that are in there are not exactly 100% correct for this generation of car. This is a particular area here where we've had to re-site the pipes that go through for the breather bottle, and we've copied that like for like so that this is correct for this exact model year of car. So this car's a great example of where we get to deploy the bit we really enjoy, and that's the real custom fabrication. This area here, this inner rear quarter, isn't available for this generation of car. And as you can see here, this area is all cleaned back to bare steel from the blasting process. But this area was where a previous repair had taken place and it had trapped all the corrosion in. So that's been removed and exposed actually how bad this quarter is. Those areas will be custom made and fabricated. So for example, this flange that runs down here, we've already started manufacturing this to go in. And then there's other sections here where underneath here we've made this panel in readiness to be finished off and go in. So effectively that whole rusty corroded part there, we will put every little dimple and depression back in, but it won't be made out of MIG weld. It will actually be formed in the machines that we've got here and put in and gas welded in, so it's good solid steel. This being a G series car, there are inherent areas where we would normally look for corrosion issues, and I'll take you through the three key areas. One is the rear, and that is this inner rear wing here. There's a void across the top, and that area corrodes out quite badly, so we can see that when inspecting the car from inside the engine bay. As we come forward, this quite holy bit you can see here actually forms quite an important part for the 911 structural rigidity. You'll probably commonly hear a phrase called the kidney bowl, and that's this item here. And this is situated directly behind the door shut, which is the part you would see when you open the door to step into the vehicle. This is a closing panel to the outer sill, and that is effectively what you end up with. Now that's quite a strong part of the car. That makes the 911, it gives it its strength. And hidden behind this is a jacking point, again, which is all very structural, solid. It's really important for the car's structural. There's a heater tube hidden inside there, which cuts the noise down when you open the heater tube. But these areas are common weak points for the 911, and every 911 from 60s all the way through to the end of the 3.2 Carrera have corrosion in these areas and would need to be dealt with at a certain point. So that's why it's really important when you're doing this level of restoration that this work is done on the jig, and you know the vehicle is set dead straight, it's solid, and it's all being welded up in the right places. So this area on the 911, the front bulkhead, where the chassis number is pressed in, is such an important part of the car's originality and history. So whenever we're working in this area, we have to be really careful because it affects the car's originality and value. There is, however, an area you can see here that corrodes out through the brake fluid leaking, and you can't buy this piece, so we actually manufacture this piece, and it's done in 3 bits. You probably can't see it from there, but it's done in 3 sections, and then it's all gas welded in. And that's done from forms that we've taken from original cars to enable us to restore them and put them back to exactly as they are. And the other area is on this inner front wing section here, where the impact bumper is mounted. There's a really horrible ledge that all the dirt can get trapped, and that dirt drops down, water gets in between these 2 panels, and it rots out. You can see that as visual from the inside of the car, but again, this is another area where these are prone to corroding. There are other areas on 911s, lots of little areas, but these are the 3 main areas, and they all normally go hand in hand. So if you've got a car that's got a bit of corrosion in this area, it will be likely that you'll have it in those other 2 areas. And if it hasn't, it probably would have already had some work done. It's really important that we keep this craft alive, because it is born out of passion. You do this job because you really enjoy it and you love it. And when you put that level of passion and energy into the job, that translates into what the client gets at the end. That gives us a real sense of achievement. We've actually done something. We can then keep those cars alive, which will enable us to hand those down to future generations. I want more people to come and do what we do and enjoy it, as well as people bringing cars to us to come and do what we love doing.